Hi, my name is Hannah Esparza. I have been an apprentice and have served at Preteen camp for 2 years. Well, how I prepare for an event is actually my very first Preteen camp. I did a devotional, and I just was making sure that I was close with my relationship with God, just preparing for the camp and really praying about how I would invest in the preteens, especially because my first time I was very nervous. And so I didn't know necessarily what I was doing, but I wanted to make sure that I was going to make a good impact and making sure that my relationship was close with God and standing firm in that in order to input into the kids. So what it looks like for me at the camp, and also just my role at the camp itself, is more just making sure I'm very present with the kids, investing in them, and then also listening to them, because a lot of these kids, they're 11, they like to talk, they like to share about their life, they like to talk to you about that. And especially coming from I'm an older teen, not necessarily an adult, they think of you as a cool big kid. So they want to talk to you and hang out with you. And so making sure that you're really invested and you're listening to them and you're talking to them and making those relationships. Yeah, you'll actually find that it just brings you so much joy, because you're like, oh my gosh, so-and-so came and talked to me and shared about how they have 2 dogs at their house or whatever. And it's really special. So having those moments, and then also just being there for the kids if they need it, not only just spiritually, but just in general. And it's a really wholesome experience. Well, for me, I wouldn't say necessarily testimony, but one thing that I just thought was really special was I had served at Preteen camp as an apprentice my first year, and then coming back and serving again. My brother also was an apprentice that second year, and I got to watch him just invest in these kids. And not only that, but just actually help them to actually accept God as their Lord and Savior. And it was so amazing. And not only that, just seeing them open up to him and just be like, oh my gosh, Ethan, I love you. And I was so blessed, because being an older sister, it was just one of my proudest moments of him. I have a lot of them, but that was one of my biggest. And just seeing the journey of not only my brother, but also the kids that were actually being transformed because of his impact was so extremely special. And I loved seeing that through the entire week. So I think some of the skill sets you would need to have just going into being an apprentice at Preteen camp would be one, making sure you're reading the room, kind of gauging, and this does come with time, it comes with practice, but being able to tell okay, when do they need to maybe have some fun, maybe make it a little bit more lax, and then diving back into, okay, let's study, let's talk about deeper stuff. And then another thing is making sure that you're loving on the kids, constantly making sure that you're loving, you're being kind to them, and you're serving them. And then one thing that's also important as an apprentice, especially for teenagers that are coming and serving, one thing that I had to learn was switching your brain from, okay, I'm a camper and I'm getting poured into. Instead, I'm a staffer, I'm going to pour out, I'm serving. And so that's one thing that was difficult for me, but that I had to learn to transition from. And so those are a few skills that I think would be good to have as an apprentice.